Hi, I'm Mike Fratto, editor of Network Computing, and with me is Steve Wiley, General Manager and Conference Director for UVM TechWeb. We're going to give you a little preview of the 2011 Interop New York Enterprise 2.0 conference track. Steve, thanks for joining me.
Mike, thanks for having me.
Steve, how long have you been track chair, and how did you get started?
I've been track chair for this program for, it must be about 4 years now, and it's really kind of comes out of another conference that we do here at UVM TechWeb called the Enterprise 2.0 Conference. And basically what we're trying to do is provide a snapshot of what that conference covers within the Interop program, and obviously with much more of a look at how these workplace technologies really impact the overall IT organization as well.
So what are the one or two must-see sessions and why?
Sure. So with the track in New York, and much like we're doing with the Enterprise 2.0 conference, we're really zeroing in on Enterprise 2.0 value propositions. The technology is being deployed in a couple of different ways in businesses. So it's deployed broadly across the enterprise as a broad enterprise collaborative platform. And the intention there, or the business case there, is just getting the workforce communicating more effectively and sharing information and finding experts, doing a better job of capturing workforce knowledge, et cetera. And then there are many use cases where the technology is being deployed around specific business functions. So that could be in human resources, around learning and training, or social recruiting, workplace performance, et cetera. We're seeing that show up in customer service use cases as well. And then most recently, we're seeing now some good use cases have come out around social technology in supply chains and how they can be effective there. What we're doing with the track is really trying to zero in on what are the value propositions, what are the use cases for enterprise social software. The first way we're doing that is with a session that will hear from customers on exactly how they're leveraging the technology, which platforms they're using, and kind of how they got there. There's a lot of decisions companies are facing around platforms and architectural choices, and that it really impacts their broader IT systems. So they have to make careful planning, careful execution there to make sure they avoid missteps. That session is going to be great because it's driven by practitioners, and it's always nice. We hear from our attendees time and time again that they like hearing the rubber meets the road viewpoint of actual practitioners that have kind of gone through some of this and are there to talk about both how they've been successful with these implementations as well as where they've had challenges along the way. So that is the first session I would definitely steer people to. It's called Customer Use Cases and Platform Choices for Social and Collaborative Technologies. And then the other session I would really steer people towards is one that we have from Mike Gatta. He is a Senior Technical Solutions Marketing Manager for Cisco. Prior to that, Mike was an analyst with Burton Group and Gartner, definitely one of the visionaries in this space. And Mike's going to talk about driving organizational change with social and collaborative technologies. One thing we're recognizing is that these technology platforms on their own are not oftentimes enough to affect change. It really takes a company taking a step back and looking at some of the other non-technical parts of how they make their business work more effectively.
That sounds really good. A customer use case story. These stories are always interesting. I know that a lot of people dismiss social media as being frivolous and pointless, and yet when you talk to companies that have successful social media programs, they're doing really interesting things that are actually driving business, whether it's direct to the consumer or business-to-business communications.
Yeah, we hear that a lot. What's the ROI for social computing in the workplace? And I have a couple of responses to that. One, it's good for the business overall. So much the same way that dial tone is considered good in our businesses, right? And having computers is good in our businesses. Having social and collaborative platforms is good and effective at fostering collaboration and communication among employees, out to customers, partners, et cetera. And then, in parallel, there are real specific use cases that really zero in on ROI and how we can shorten the sales cycle with social computing, how we can improve the supply chain.
Steve, that sounds like it's going to be a great program. Thanks for your time, and look forward to seeing some of these sessions.
Great. Thanks, Mike. See you out at Interop.
Next up is Mike Gatta, Senior Technical Solution Manager for Enterprise Social Software for Cisco, and he'll be giving a talk on Thursday, October 6th, Driving Organizational Change with Social and Collaborative Technologies. Mike, thanks for joining me.
Thanks, Mike.
Give me just a quick overview of what your session is going to be about.
Well, basically, what I've seen prior to joining Cisco, I was an industry analyst for 15 years at a variety of firms. Since I've joined Cisco, is that most of the projects that deploy enterprise social software or Enterprise 2.0 generally focus on plan, build, run, the deployment aspects of the technology. Usually what's lacking is a clear alignment with what the tools enable in terms of connecting it to some type of use case scenario or a particular business value proposition, as well as the soft side of Enterprise 2.0. You can almost make the point that your project begins after deployment of the technology, and you need to focus on governance, change management, and different adoption methods if you're really going to bring about the change that you're kind of targeting with the initiative.
So is this mostly focused on social and collaborative technologies within the enterprise, or are you also going to be addressing reaching out to customers, prospects, et cetera?
This particular presentation is boundaried on the internet, so it's to the employee internal audience. I think there's probably some learnings and some of the examples that you could flip and kind of read into yourself as to how that might apply for external audiences. But it's pretty much targeting the how do you deliver social tools and social environments for the employee.
Sounds like it's going to be a great session and topic.
Yeah, it's a lot to cover in an hour, but I think what I want people to walk away is the value of personas and use cases, and then the three-legged stool of governance, change management, and adoption practices.
Thanks, Mike.
Okay, thank you.